Good morning, Zodiac. Welcome. I'm David. I'm going to do the morning quickies for, can you believe it, the 14th of June. Wow. Already shuffled. And I'm going to pull through the deck. So, I'm going to start with Aries, with not a lot of ado, as they say. Going to clarify with the Klimt art deck if I need to as we go along. Look at Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and today's Monday, so it's Aries Taurus day, and I'm doing the second half of June readings with the heart spread. Look, a little bigger read, looking at if you're feeling feelings for someone or have someone on your mind, and I do meet the soulmate, a single spread if you're like totally and completely single. So join me. And every day I do two signs, and I cover the zodiac, ending on Saturdays with Pisces and Aquarius. So just so you know, it's an easy reading schedule once you join the channel, which I hope you do. Thanks, guys. It's you, Aries, showing up. Oops, with the Four Cups energy. Wah, wah. It's just not feeling it. Who are you thinking of? It's like Mercury retrograde, maybe stuff, huh, Aries? Keep in mind that does affect people. You know, where people come. Everybody talks about, oh, is my ex gonna get with me? Well, somebody's gonna get with their ex too. So maybe you were thinking about it, and you're like, nah. You know, you're thinking about someone, but because this is where you're at, and you're just not feeling it. You know, maybe it's more like they're thinking about you. I'm like wondering, as a Venus in Scorpio, if you're feeling like this, why even think about them at all? Because they're not really hurt by them. It's like, you know what, I don't really care. Interesting. So crossing you, and I'm going to just stay confused for a minute, because that is a little bit confusing. That's my question. It's like, if you're feeling like that, why think about it at all? Don't waste any time. So this is crossing you, and you're going to think of that as a King of Wands upside down. And the King of Wands reverse ain't cool. So it's got to be a person, you know, court card. Doesn't have to necessarily be a male. Would be like a strong energy, just actively working against you. Wands are action. So it's someone like, you know, going out of their way to attack you. Right? Meaning, you know, actually going to your friends and lying or causing trouble. Could be. I mean, I'm going to avoid an actual physical attack, but taking actions against you, man. Maybe that's why you're thinking of them. It's like you're done and everything, but I mean, it could be someone really seriously stalking you and being aggressive about it. No, now advice is the Sun. Wow, I really feel like this advice, and it's such a beautiful card, is just to outshine them. Because that was my first thought. I was like, why even? So don't even give them a thought. Why even give them a thought? You know, they're getting up bold, but you know what's a lot bigger than an angry King of Wands personality? Could be a sun sign bothering you, you know, Sag, Leo, another Aries. But yeah, the sun, because the sun trumps everything. You know, it's the big kahuna, and sun brings light, and the sun brings beauty, and the sun brings a lot of positive energy. So that's another thing too. It's kind of corny, but you're going to bring all kind of positive energy. But I think the main thing to do is just really remove your emotions from the whole situation. And I got a feeling like you on your own in your life, it's the Sun. And, you know, that's maybe what Spirit's trying to tell you. If you take away this, you know, angry, irritating thorn in your side, you've got the Sun. And with the Sun, you want to give your energy now to this person who's coming in. This is a mature King of Swords person, so air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius personality, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. That's pretty straightforward. You could almost say too that maybe in some way, because I always look at this too as the blocking position, you know, by giving any energy to this, even the energy of, you know, oh, I hate you, it's still like holding you back. And you just let go of that, it's all good. And you got this really strong person. I think you like strong people, Aries. That's cool. Aries. A lot of times you want somebody to push back. I get it. Thank you, guys. Taurus, thanks for joining me. I'm David. We're doing the morning quickies at the Casa edition here. Pulling through the deck. Look at your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. 14th of June. You can believe it. Also, this happens to be Aries and Taurus day. So I do the heart spread, the couples on your mind reading, and the singles reading, meet the soulmate. That's if you're totally and completely single and you're just kind of want to get an idea. What if my soulmate was out there? What would they be like? That's kind of what that reading's for. All right, thank you guys. Taurus, here you are showing up, kind of being very Tauran. And Nine of Pentacles energy and around relationships and love. It could be someone's actually single. If you're in a relationship, you're feeling very comfortable and secure, and like you can be you and do you. And I mean, if you're not in a relationship, that what that card means anyway. I always wonder. I mean, doesn't mean you can't be like that in a relationship. Ideally, maybe I know it might be hard sometimes, weirdly, but yeah, it's such great energy to have in terms of a relationship, and it's kind of I see too when I look at this, like the Taurus, the cows and bulls out in the fields, just laying around and grazing, and living life, the good life of cows. Here we go. Now this is what's crossing you, a Knight of Wands. So think about that as a Knight of Wands in reverse. I like to see the knights or any of the court cards here as now it's going to be another person's energy. But we also the mirror, so we draw constantly. There's this drawing in of energy that we want or need somehow. The fact that it's blocking you, it's almost like there's someone not taking action towards you, not speaking up to you. I always go personal, and I think of like maybe someone that never says in a relationship something like "you're right" when you are, not to win a fight or nothing, but just like, yeah, you're right. The Bulls did win. I don't know, but they won't say it. And you would think like with someone's a Nine of Pentacles, they really wouldn't care. But something gets under your skin. That's what I think. So it's probably something, when things bother us, it always goes into, it gets psychological. It's something in us, how it gets to us, If we already have something there, it probably wouldn't bug us so much. Well, let's see what the advice is here. Two of Cups. Kind of like this. We're bringing this down to Monday, 14th of June, little reading here. Now, this is your advice from Spirit. I think this is someone that's in a relationship, but someone's in a good relationship, and someone that's doing them. You might just around love relationships. You're in a period where you just feel very secure, and so far I don't see any problems here. But this one little thing, like I was saying, it's nagging you. It's a little quirky, right? And it's something to do with your relationship, though. I mean, this could be so many things. Could be maybe you guys have different sleeping schedules and you kind of need to adjust that, but you don't want to say it. You don't want to, or they don't want to say it. They feel it. But it's I get the feeling it's something like you feel like whatever this is, Taurus. It's like you would stop and think like, well, my life is so kind of perfect, and if I could kind of make this one little adjustment, it would be so perfect. This is very Taurus, very comfortable, very perfect. Very stable here and secure. And, but this one last thing that you need, you have to have the other person because there's another person. It's something you can't do to tighten up on it yourself. You need to bring them in, and something you're a little concerned about bringing them in on, whatever it is. But Spirit's advising it's okay. Sit down, talk to them about it. This is your person. It's all about the relationship. Maybe think about it like Spirit's saying it's all about the relationship here, right? I know there's a lie in there, but we'll let that go. See, it could be some Leo stuff going on. Now, it's not that bad. This is going to change. So all this says, exactly like I said, whatever you got to figure out what the little thing is. I'm not that good. Wish I were. But whatever it is, you're afraid to talk to them about. You're going to go sit down, talk to them about it. I kind of get the feeling like make it a little thing, like maybe make dinner and have glasses of wine, sit together, put the phones off and the TVs off, and I miss those days, and actually have a nice dinner together and kind of go into this. And I think it's just going to be like nothing, and it's going to change, and it's like I see like a Taurus here that has a really nice life, basically. Congratulations, guys. So wow, was nice, positive reading. Geminis, I'm David. Thanks for joining me. Doing the morning quickies at the house edition here. It's kind of early. I'm gonna have my coffee. So let's see. This is the 14th of June now, Monday, and on Mondays we always do Aries and Taurus for the heart spread couples reading and the singles reading to meet the soulmate. Just to let you know, think about Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus as we go along. Gemini, here you are at the Moon, where you're at in the round relationships. So you're feeling like there's something you're not getting. So maybe something's bugging you, it's a relationship reading. So it's that little feeling maybe at the beginning, or nothing's really happened. There's nothing exactly to put your finger on, but probably it's like you're having a feeling there's something going on with your person, something that bad. And with this, only thing with Moon, they always say, and I kind of like to always look at life this way, but it's probably something in yourself that really needs to be figured out. There's probably what it is that's bugging you, what you're missing, what you're not seeing. It's not that someone's keeping something from you. It's like you can't see it, Let's see what's crossing you. Oh my God, I was about to just go there, but yes. So what you can't see is that there is something going on, and I think, just many of us are intuitive. It's human nature. I think there's a massive I don't know, conspiracy by life. I mean, immediately they tell us, start lying to us, telling us there's things like time and we die, and there's the end and all this. So there's a lot of lies and illusions, but it's kind of, what I'm saying is, with this thing, it's like you just don't want to believe it, about the person maybe. It's like you don't want to go there. It's like you don't want to be that person suspecting your lover, not trusting your lover and anything. But this is clearly what's going on, there's something alarming you. It'd probably be noticing in the way they're acting. Um, you know, it'd be simple if you're a woman and you got a man, all of a sudden he starts buying his own clothes or something. It's just so many things. Maybe I think this is how we pick it up. You think, oh my God, I'm a psychic. No, it's like you're very perceptive. I think psychic is just maybe we're more sensitive to our own internal rise and fall blood pressure and heartbeat and stuff like that, and literally your gut. So yeah, it's not looking good. God damn. Guys, I don't know, Jim. If you watch this reading and you got this far, don't you can't stop. We gotta get the outcome. But if you're, yeah, it's not. You're gonna, yeah, this is gonna end it. But fuck, this is like the whole energy too. The towers. This could be the theme, for the retrograde start of the season. All the stuff that's been going on, and also the whole year with Mars square Saturn. I mean, with Uranus square Saturn is a huge energy right now. The wrecking ball, I call it. And it's just going around. I hope it just brings down the whole capitalist religion and whole system of banksters and all that. But anyway, I digress. But I think this is like a micro example is happening in your life, that's coming apart. And, when you have the tower, really the advice is just get out of the way and let it fall. Uh, don't rush in. You'd be better off be angry. You'd be probably than to rush in and try to hold it up or try to put it back together or something. Eight of Pentacles, and you're going to be rebuilding your life. So I got to say this though, Gemini, when I see the Eight of Pentacles here, it really to me means that's not going to be that bad, meaning you're not going to go into a period after this where you're really suffering and just prolonged grieving and loss and heartbreak, and it goes on and on. It's like you're going to bounce back pretty quick and start focusing on yourself, which is really good. This is a very positive energy, and it's all about doing the work. So that's brilliant in terms of advice. Let the tower fall, go away, and just start rebuilding your life. That's the best thing. Wow, it's been a heavy couple weeks. Thank you, Gemini. Cancers. David, thank you for joining me for the Morning Quickies at the Casa Edition. And this is for the 14th of June, okay? It's Monday, so also today I do the bigger readings, the heart spread for someone on your mind, and the singles for when you don't have someone on your mind, you're kind of wide open. Um, and do 2 signs every day. So yours will be coming tomorrow. This will be for the end of June reading, second half of June. So here you are, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Keep that in mind. Coming in with the Six of Pentacles. You know, this really emphasizes the giving of alms here. I notice Cancer. This is the Illuminated Tarot deck, Ethereal Tarot Illuminated deck. Really in the energy of wanting to balance something, wanting to keep, wanting everything to be not just fair, but correct. It could be, to me, this is also a lot in this position, around love, you kind of want to keep the status quo, but it kind of implies a little nervousness because if you have to think about, I want to keep this, I don't, wow, it's like this, look, I'll make it a little reading. It's like, wow, everything's been going really perfect the last couple days. Man, I don't want to ruin that because it's kind of rare and I like it, but I but maybe then you start thinking, what? Why has it been going so good? Is it because I've been wearing this new aftershave? Is it because, I mean, yeah, kind of your mind's on that, huh? Wow. And this is what's crossing you. So there's a bigger picture here. You're being called out. Yeah, and like I said, the status quo. And so when you're called out, it's a lot of times it's from the status quo, called out from your comfort zone. And this would be by something that's good for you, your greatest good. When you're being called out like this and called up to call to action, it's for yourself. This could be about needing to express something in yourself that you're afraid, like if you express it, it's going to break this equilibrium you have with your relationship right now. Yes. And you have to do it. And maybe you have this talk with them or talk about this reading. I would love that kind of stuff with the readings. I was like, wow, I was watching this fat guy from Mexico, and he was telling me, talking about this. And because, I mean, it just literally, it could be like, you really want to go and sing at clubs, even though maybe you don't make a lot of money, and you have to go out on the weekends, and you guys, they want to spend the weekend with you, and maybe it's something little like that along those lines, but it's something like you've always wanted to do, and you want to get it out, and you're going to have to talk to him about it, huh? And advice, collaboration, work together. This really emphasizes collaboration. The Ethereal Tarot Illuminated deck. This is the work card, though, but it's working together. You know, the advice from Spirit, whatever this is, exactly just like I said, bring them in on it. Talk to them in the way. Talk to them like this. Really came strong to me. Don't sit down like with the headset and say like, okay, we gotta have this talk. I got this real big problem, and sit down and say, hey, babe, I need your help. Can I talk to you? I really need your help. What? And hopefully, really, they'll say, oh man, sure, I'll do anything for you. What do you want? Well, and then your thing, deliver it like that. That's nice. Yes, and I think you're going to get it. And it seems to you, I think, like something that's very strong, like a real powerful self-assertion. Whatever this thing is, no little thing, no little thing. Something's going to mean a lot to you. And something about speaking out, speaking up, kind of way. I made maybe the analogy of someone wanting to sing it, like Jose, as an example. Yeah, so very positive. I like it. Like I said, I think this will go very well. Just maybe turn your head around a little bit and just bring your partner in. Maybe you tell them like, hey, a little bit of a white lie, or something like, I really, it helps me a lot if you're there with me. Anyway, we could, you could help me with this, or, and bring them in. The Three of Pentacles, make it include them, an inclusive thing. All right, great. That's good reading. Cancers, thank you, Spirit. Leos, thanks for joining me. I'm David. We're doing the Morning Quickies here at the Casa Edition. This is for the 14th of June, okay? Looking at you. Keep in mind, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, guys. 4 Pentacles. Now that's your energy. Now it's a beautiful Four of Pentacles, but with this card, it's kind of to me like a lack of energy. It's withdrawing your energy. Like from a relationship, you just feel like, I'm not going to give that any more energy. I'm not going to call them anymore and beg them. I'm not going to bug them. I'm just going to withdraw back here and hug myself. And here they're even in the fetal position. So let's see what's going on, Leo. What's making the lion curl up in the fetal position? What I want to know. Someone's a Knight of Cups, a water sign, Cancer person, um, Scorpio person, Pisces person, and just think of that as being a Knight of Cups reversed. Um, so I get the feeling like, well, they started it. So I think this is your person. It could be a little bit younger person, maybe you're both person, because I get the feeling it could be some immaturity here, a little tit for that, tat, and whatever happened. And they basically are giving you the cold shoulder emotionally. And you guys could be sleeping together. I get the feeling it's literally like rolling over and giving you the cold shoulder. And there, so many times. And oh God, I'm gonna be a cat lady one day. It's coming. So, so this is you curling up in the fetal position and saying, okay, well, self-soothing, right? Keep this at a little reading. I like it because already, like, man, he's had a little spat, and they're kind of being a dick right now. And the advice is the Queen of Cups. Look, as advice, I think the Queen of Cups is saying to you is kind of be bigger than this, whatever it is. I think you're both being immature. They're like, I'm giving you the cold shoulder. I'm going to take my ball and my bat and I'm going home. You guys can play baseball with rocks or something out there. I don't care. And then you're like, okay, well, fuck you. And it's basically saying, rise above it and be the bigger person and think about how important it is to have an emotional connection. The Queen of Cups is not afraid to be emotionally vulnerable. She's emotionally intelligent, and available. So be that to this person, I think is what it is. Sounds like good advice. Kind of be the bigger person. Wow, Page of Cups. And I think they're going to look at, the Page of Cups is looking right at the Queen of Cups. So this person's going to respond very well. I told you they're kind of a younger person. They're immature. I got to say, and it's a little preachy, but that thing, someone told me this first time, I was like, oh my God. And I was kind of young. They were giving me like work advice, but they said like we're always teaching people how to treat us. So all of this, I think, could be you teaching your person how not just to treat you, how to act in a relationship, because you're showing them. This one knows. The Queen of Cups of every card here absolutely knows how to handle anything emotional, and you're kind of modeling and teaching that to them. And I think they're responding very well. I mean, sometimes we just learn, guys, right? Not everybody's an asshole. Not everybody's like me, and a Sagittarius has to make the same mistake 9 times before they figure it out. Sometimes we actually learn, particularly when it's delivered out of love and a loving relationship, and we respond in kind with love. That's beautiful. Thank you, guys. Wow. Virgo, thanks for joining me. I'm David. We're doing the Morning Quickies here at the Casa edition. This is for the 14th of June. All right, I'm pulling through the deck. Keep in mind, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Virgo, wow, coming in as the Empress. That's a beautiful, that's a beautiful way to be. Someone that's very self-contained, has a gravitas about them. There's all about feeling beautiful. It could be feeling, that life is bountiful, feeling life is good. And usually people be drawn to you when you're the Empress, like the sun with planets orbiting it. So, could almost see people looking at you and going, wow, kind of admiring you. And you're just at a great place. This is some of Virgo. It's maybe kind of leveled up. You're maybe more mature than you used to be in terms of love and relationships. Around you would be a lot of harmony, feelings of harmony, contentment. Now, yeah. So this is your blocking. This is what's bothering you. This is the problem, and this is arguing and bickering and fights. Okay, with your person. And with the Empress here, okay, um, normally, if there's any arguing and bickering, she's with a little bit of a nod or something, or shift of her eyes, guards would come in and carry away the problem. So this is her lover, someone she's let into the inner chambers of her heart. And they're making a lot of noise and trying to bother the Empress, who just wants to be, the Empress wants to be peaceful, tranquil, beautiful. Your advice is to stand strong in your own power. Beautiful. I mean, this is fantastic. We're skipping this person, we're skipping the arguments, whatever it is. Fuck that. You're the Empress. Do you stand in your own power. Beautiful. And strength to me is always a promise that you're going to have strength, but you have strength. You're fucking Empress, so maybe it's, just emphasizing that, look, you have all the cards, Virgo. You're the one with the strength. You're the one that the rest of the planets orbit around in your area, wherever you're at. So, wow, Ten of Swords. You're gonna let this go, whatever. So here you have you. Let's look at the cards. And here you have your person and your interaction in your relationship. Now, which would you rather have, this or this? So the choices, you choose you, A, I'll give you a minute, or you choose to continue the relationship, B, give you a minute, and you get to choose A or B. Leave a comment, let me know seriously what you choose, Virgo. Do you choose A, Virgo, or do you choose B? It seems like a no-brainer to me, but free will. We all get to do what we want. That's what makes it so cool. Thank you, guys. I'm David Libra, and welcome to our Morning Quickies at the Casa edition here. And this is going to be for the 14th of June. Hard to believe we're middle of June already. In the depths of Mercury retrograde, just on the other side of this eclipse energy. Here we go. So it's you, Libra, showing up. Seven of Cups. Boy, there's something about the Seven of Cups in this deck. It's the Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot deck. And it always kind of gets me, this card, for Seven of Cups. Before this card, I kind of always tend to see the Seven of Cups as kind of emotional turmoil. Because you got a lot of cards that cover indecisiveness and this. But this is kind of like the Two of Swords is like, I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. This is like, like I don't know what I feel. It's like being emotionally kind of lost or confused energy, Libra. With these cups, you see they've got their mask on, they're looking down, and there's a feeling that there's something dangerous here and negative. And to me, it's like you think about Seven of Cups, the next is the Eight of Cups. So maybe it's that energy where even like consciously we're not even there yet, but because cups are emotions, there's these emotions start to come that we feel depending on how intuitive we are, how sensitive we are to our own body. Maybe that's the first ruminations of the Eight of Cups, because you're not emotionally certain, like everything was kind of mostly okay, and now it's not, and you're kind of like, I don't really know why, but you start looking around, and what's crossing you, what did I just say? So Ten of Cups, think about Ten of Cups being reversed. You know that this relationship, there's something wrong with it, right? And the Ten of Cups is reversed here, that's what's crossing you. You may not consciously know it, but I don't know, if this really doesn't resonate, click and try your rising moon or Venus even energy, if it's different, than your sun here, Libra. But you may not kind of know this, but you might just have a feeling, a little uneasiness, but you might not even have associated that with the relationship yet. Temperance. Now this is your advice. Well, this is very delicate. I'm tempted to clarify, but I don't really feel like I need to. Man, because this is very important. There's an angel here. If you're spiritual, please don't be afraid to call on help from whoever you call on help from. You're in the name of light and love only, so it serves the greatest good. I always say here. Because You're being asked to stay positive, and it's corny, to be optimistic, to maybe be patient. And I think of that saying, love is patient and kind. Love is, it's like that. You're kind of being asked to be that way. This is Sagittarius energy, where the south node is at 10 degrees right now in the transit. So wherever Sag is in your chart, Libra, maybe take a look at that and see. I got a feel in Pisces at 1 degree Jupiter, because this is a Sag card. Look at 1 degree Jupiter, which is a 1 degree Pisces, which is where is. Where's that in your chart? Where is this energy for Sagittarius that's going on in your chart too? It might speak to whatever's going on here with this situation, because I think you're being asked, maybe because I don't know, this sort of like goes against me, but maybe if you're already in a relationship, maybe hear what you're being asked to do. And excuse me, I'm gonna die of cancer, but I just don't care. That was a Tabano. Sorry. Damn Tabanos. So yeah, that's why I say it's kind of delicate. I think you're being asked here to hold space for this person, this relationship, whatever this is going on that's threatening your Ten of Cups here. Um, it could be temporary. It's emotional. It's something emotional. I mean, this is the kind of thing I think, like, I would advise, like, if you're in a relationship, and like especially if you're lucky enough to have insurance that covers it, this kind of thing. Couples counseling, maybe great time. Maybe just go and get some. I think of it. I've been in therapy a lot of my life. A lot of my life was in therapy. The first 40 years, more really, and so think of it as just a supportive thing, a self-care thing that you do. Um, let's see what this outcome is going to tell us here. Wow, you're going to be setting up boundaries. I still feel the same way, but I told you this is delicate. Going forward, I think it's something emotional, and it has to do with boundaries. And boundaries are going to be very important. But you're going to have to set this, like, again, in that way. Love is kind, love is patient. But love is not a sucker. Love does not have to hurt. Love should not be dangerous. You have to have these boundaries. And maybe I was just talking earlier about, like, teaching someone how to treat us. Maybe that's a process that has to go on here. No, I think this is an existing relationship. But Libra, it's maybe like that. And you sort of teaching this person that you're with kind of how to love, but not sacrificing yourself in doing it. That makes sense. Thank you, Libra. Scorpios, thanks for joining me. I'm David, doing the Morning Quickies, the At the Casa edition. It's for the 14th of June, guys. Look at your sun, moon, rising, and Venus, too. Keep in mind, this is you showing up with the Six of Wands. Wow. So, this is Scorpios. Where you're at and around relationships. You done good. You succeeded. It's kind of like mission accomplished, I think, here, is what this speaks to. Because this is a knight that's returning and probably was successful. Uh, Maybe someone is saying to you things like, wow, you did it. I kind of get that feeling like, well, I'll be damned. Or you were away and you came back and people are like, oh my God. But it's a feeling in terms of relationship of having some success. Could just be in your relationship. Maybe people are saying to you about your relationship, I'd be damned. I really didn't think you guys could do it. But there you are. You did it. Well, congratulations. It's amazing. What's crossing you is it took a fuckload of work, and maybe you're tired. Yeah. And your advice, Queen of Pentacles. I think what this is saying with the Queen of Pentacles as advice, okay, it's like, yeah, that's took a lot of work, and probably you're exhausted, and you could be kind of looking at the whole thing like, man, I don't know, was it worth it? Because it just took everything I had and then some. Like, it just took everything out of you. You had to give, in some way, all of your energy to this, maybe and more. You had to go into like a credit card of energy and get a good credit on energy. But I think what Spirit is saying, look what you've accomplished, something solid and lasting and good with the Queen of Pentacles, genuine, beautiful energy here. Because maybe it wasn't before. Maybe it's almost like you took chaos and created a beautiful home out of it, and a secure relationship, and maybe even a future. So it was no little feat. I wouldn't be surprised to see the magician show up here, because it looks like that what it would take. And I think this is just not you moving on from a particular relationship, but you guys being able to move on now into life. And Three of Wands is actions, and take actions kind of together too. It's like maybe in terms of making this happen, a lot of that was you. But this is now whoever your person is. Now they're on board. Now you're a couple, and now you're strong. And now when you take actions, it will be together. And these actions are going to be fun. This is like, I don't know, it's like going out looking for a place to live together, going out and doing things together, having fun. I mean, it's summer. Beautiful, Scorpio. Thank you, guys. Sagittarius, thanks for joining me. This is the Morning Quickies here at the Casa edition. This is for the 14th of June. And let's see where you're at. Keep in mind, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, Sag. And Queen of Swords. So in this position is kind of where you're at in relationships. I always think with the Queen of Swords, you're channeling the part of yourself that's more assertive, basically. And the Queen of Swords is showing up a lot of times when you have to be assertive, set boundaries, speak the truth, speak directly. Sometimes you're going to show up the king or queen when something needs to be cut. Something needs a forceful, detached. This is emotional detachment. So taking the emotions out of it, thought over heart decisions, not good or bad. That's where you're at in terms of relationships right now, because you've been counting your pentacles, Sag, and you feel like you didn't get a good return on the work you did. You feel like I'd spent the whole summer out here, morning till dusk, and working, and I paid for the seed and this and that, and you're counting it all up. And boy, I love this enchanted tarot illuminated deck. It's really shows the Seven of Pentacles, the spirit of it. It's really, and because it's Pentacles, it's thinking hard about it. But because it's in reverse, it's like you're really struggling with it. You're stuck in it. You're like, maybe maybe then you tell yourself one day, it's like, no, wait a minute, maybe it's not that bad. And the next day you're like, oh, this is an outrage. I'm being gypped. The next day, well, I don't know. Now that's the crossing there. Now, the advice from Spirit, Sag, is, the advice from Spirit is to go and do your Sagittarius thing and look at the big picture. Go ninth house on this whole situation, your calculations particularly. So what does that mean? Obviously it's not just about the money, but consider the big picture. Like, where will you be in 5 years? How, if you look back on this situation right now, how important do you think it's going to be in your life? What does it mean to you in terms of your whole past life and the future? And put that into the calculations, because I think what really Spirit is trying to say is you're seeing you can't see the forest for the trees. You're down here in the ground, and you need to get up above and look at this with a big picture view, because actually you have the world. You've already leveled up, and you can just start a new journey, a new cycle. I mean, this is everything from graduating from college, to retiring, and it's moving into a new period of your life, something significant, changing a big long cycle here. And you could even be looking back at 7 years, going back and saying like, wow, I'm not going to waste my time anymore. You're, that's kind of what I get. Whatever it's a person, place, thing, past 1 year, 10 years, you're like, I'm not going to waste my time anymore. That's certainly what the advice is, Sag. And you're going to be moving into a period of hangman energy. And that's okay. It's like good for you right here. I mean, two major arcana here at the end. because once you level up, you're going to be maybe take some time, and maybe part of it, what's crossing you, is you have trouble like really being real, making realistic assessments of what's important, right? So you're going to need some time to sort of sort things out, figure out a new direction. Um, I get the feeling too, like retooling, shifting gears completely, and because that old thing of looking at things from a different perspective, And remember, it's about these coins. It's about what is meaningful to you. What have you gotten in return for the work that you've done? And so maybe because the world now, you're going to be looking at it from an entirely different perspective. Like it'd be so different that the new you would try to explain it to the old you would have just been like, what? But now it's your life. So Sag, thank you guys. That's good. Capricorns, I'm David. Thanks for joining me. It's the June 14th edition of the Morning Quickies, Acta Casa edition. Do keep in mind this Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus as it resonates with you. Hermiting energy coming in, Capricorn. Um, Maybe wherever Virgo's in your chart could be relevant. Mm. So, um, I always see this as doing the good work, pointing the finger at the self, spiritual growth, learning. Not uncommon to see it on a tarot channel. A lot of people watch tarot, spiritual people. And it's great in this relationship reading because it points to someone that's being self-reflective and honest, and not just blaming everything on somebody else and what they didn't do or did do. And could be someone that's single. Now, wow, I think we got the same combination yesterday. Wow, and I think it's the same meaning. So it kind of makes it heavy. Now think two major con out of two. So the chariot comes in here. This is life purpose. You see it in the chart around the south and north node most directly. You see the whole chart, I think, is all about our life's purpose for incarnation here, like a star map. And so you're doing the hermit thing, which is great, and looking at yourself. But I think what's blocking you here is not putting it into the larger perspective of your soul's purpose and mission in life. How does it fit in with what's best for your soul's growth? Real big picture stuff. Virgo is the details. The hermit is Virgo. You can't see the forest for the trees. You want to get up above. You won't want to. You want to see the. You can't see the trees because all you're going to see is the forest. So you need that higher perspective. Blow it up, take it back, and look at it. Put it in a much bigger perspective. And I think with the Nine of Wands now, the Hermit's like in their cave, and so this is kind of like the Hermit's not supposed to be trying to hide or anything. You're in there to do that good work. It's like I think you've been in there long enough, and I think that's what it's saying. And maybe part of this bigger perspective thing is going out and taking like the show on the road. Like, so now you've been thinking, maybe you got burned in the relationship, so you did the good thing, and you went in and thought, what was my part in it? Okay, I won't do that again. I get how I do this. I'll keep in mind when that happens, and that's all great. But now you're going to take it out on the road, and just, what's blocking you is you're having trouble uh, conceiving of all of this in terms of, why you're taking it out on the road. Well, why do you even want a relationship? What's love even for? Something like that. But I think like what this saying is like, in order to figure all that out, you do have to have someone else around you. You have to have someone else. What relationships all about is how we learn, bouncing off each other and interactions, and why it's so important. That's all about our soul's growth. So it's like, in other words, you can't always just sit and contemplate and self, reflect. At some point you have to get out there, and there's got to be, flesh and blood involved here, and it's going to take some effort. And in the end, it's justice. Well, I think you could just pretty much take justice here. You could also possibly look at Libra in your chart, what's going on there. Might be something that speaks to all this. but I think it's a very good outcome. It's like reassuring as hell. If you get out there, like this, I said, it's blood and guts. It's flesh and blood. It's not as antiseptic as sitting in your house and contemplating how the relationship will be. I mean, people fart. People, they get hurt, and then now you're hurt because you love them. It can all kind of things. But if you do that, you're gonna feel like you're in the right place with justice. Um, probably you have done enough work. You do know. It's like when you go out there, Capricorn, and start dealing with things, you'll deal with them really well. I think you'll be kind of surprised. It might be initially a bit of a shock, having to deal. I know having to deal with relationships. It's a hell of a lot harder than being alone because you don't have anybody bugging you. You do what you want. I get it, but hey, you're watching a relationship bring, and you get so much out of it too. So, Aquarius, thanks for joining me. I'm David, doing the Morning Quickies at the Casa edition here, just for the 14th of June, okay? Let's think about Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and you're coming in with Emperor energy. We've already seen the Empress in this position. Who was that? Forget. It was Gemini. So, Aquarius, in terms of love relationship, this where you're at, you might be being just stubborn and fixed. You also could be strong here. Um, just like someone saying, kind of look at him. He's kind of got his nose up in the air, he's like, you're just like, nope, nope, nope. And they're like, well, seriously, will you? You won't? You do that? Nope, nope, nope. You want things your way, and that's it. I mean, if you're cross watching, if you're not happy with your Aquarius, then next, because they ain't changing, or nobody. Now crossing you. Huh. I think you do need to look at something, and you're not. You're refusing to. I don't think there's so much you like about your lover or anything. Um, it's something about you, this stubbornness. You're set in your ways, Aquarius, fixed in swords or thoughts. Gotta keep in mind, that's this healing energy. But think about a four swords reversed as I'm looking at it. So I might have to clarify here. And you get the eight of Pentacles. It's a Klimt art deck. So clarifying the four swords in reverse, thinking of it as reversed, it's in your blocking position with the Eight of Pentacles. And I read these reverse, so I take this one as upright here. Here's what I think. It's like you don't, because Eight of Pentacles doing the good work, okay? You tell yourself you don't care, you're not interested, because you don't want to do the work, I think, on something. And it's almost like in your mind goes on, and in terms of relationship. And it's like, it could be like maybe your partner says, I really would like to talk to you about this. And with the Four Swords, like, I really don't have time right now. I'm really kind of busy right now. Or really, are you just saying like, even like, what, sorry, I don't see it that way. You're wrong. And like with the Eight of Pentacles, the suggestion is like why it's blocking you. Maybe you could be a little more open, a little less rigid, and just say, okay, instead of just immediately starting with, well, that's stupid, like, I don't know, Bigfoot, as an example. And of course, Bigfoot's not real, but, is that really the point? You ever watch that show where the guy says squatchy all the time? It's just, I don't know, it's funny. Who cares if there's a Bigfoot? Of course they're not going to find Bigfoot. There's no Bigfoot. But it's like, that's not the point, Aquarius. And maybe that's kind of like that. So instead of starting out with, that's ridiculous, there's no Bigfoot, say to your lover, and it's going to take time, and think a little, like maybe you're kind of like, I don't want to talk about Bigfoot, what the fuck with this person, but it's like, okay, I'll bite, what interests you about it, and let them talk and tell you their thing, and you don't necessarily have to have an opinion about it, it could just be like your person wants to talk to you about something. You don't have to win, you can't win a relationship, you don't have to win every argument, Yeah, come on. This is like, come on. This is the Jim Morrison King of Cups, the cool, laid back King of Cups. This is all about, this is your advice from Spirit. It's like lighten up, and be emotional. It's like there's a little bit of emotional lack of availability with this Four of Swords. And you're going to have to really work at this in a kind of conscious way with the Eight of Pentacles advising, I think, to kind of get to this space. Like you're literally going to have to tell yourself, you're literally going to have to say, maybe, okay, I will have a drink. Maybe you don't normally, you know what, I will have another drink. And just kind of let your hair down and relax and stop taking things so seriously, and maybe stop trying to win or trying to be better or trying to be at the top, and just like be cool, like the dude. It's like carpe diem, man. you know Love the King of Cups card. That's good advice all the time. Just be the dude. What the fuck? Everything's cool. High Priestess. I love it. Now this brings in with the High Priestess here. If you do this, you're going to end up change this. This is an emperor. An emperor would have a high priestess at their disposal, right? But this is the emperor themselves being so influenced by the high priestess that they begin to take on some of that energy. And it's strange, I think this is a pretty strong reading. And if you just sort of just lighten up a little bit, it's gonna like open up this whole side of you that's like more intuitive and more connected, like with your spiritual self and sort of your uh, emotional side, really. The High Priestess. You may start getting things, like, okay, now I get it about the Bigfoot. It's totally not real, but that doesn't matter. They think it's funny. I get it. They're playing a drinking game. And every time that big dude says squatchy, you take a shot. And everyone, and see who can stand at the end of that show. Try that, because don't try that. It could be dangerous. That guy says squatchy about 1,000,000 times, Aquarius. Thank you, guys. So, Pisces, here we are. I'm David doing the Morning Quickies at the Casa edition. This is for the 14th of June, guys. Okay, here we are. Keep in mind, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, the lovers. Gotta love it. Pun totally intended. The love's a beautiful card. So this is where you're at in terms of love and relationship. I don't know. It could be about a choice. It just seems like to me, like your mind, like you're really in love, and could be young, kind of young energy, and speaks to the romance phase, but really being just in love. Beautiful in of itself. And now Wheel of Fortune, don't let that scare you. That card speaks to how this speaks to the unknown. This is an interesting crossing card here. I get a little bit of the energy with the lovers and the Wheel of Fortune, kind of Romeo and Juliet kind of thing. Um, Star-crossed lovers, something like that. There's something keeping you apart, but it's like you really shouldn't be apart. Maybe you're at a distance. Ace of Cups, this is your advice. Hold space for each other. If you're watching, cross-watcher of the Pisces, Pisces, and this is your advice from Spirit, all in, you know. The problem is this is crossing. I think it's a delay. I think you guys were right there, and you were like about to have a union, and something delayed it. I mean, it could be like COVID, it could be money, could be family crisis. It wasn't a lack of love, and so both of you know that. I think you know that. It wasn't because either of you didn't want to have a union. I mean, Ace of Cups. Something got in the way. Let's see what the outcome is. The Star. I don't think you're able to manage this yet. I don't know exactly why. This could even be people. Maybe you're not old enough or something. Maybe you're both trying to get it together to get out of the home and have a life. Create an adult life together. Could be the story here. But with the Star and the Aquarius card, but it's a lot of hopes and dreams and wishes and fulfillment, and coming with the Ace of Cups, it's really encouraging. It's like you know, hold space for each other, whatever it takes. I mean, whether you're physically with each other or not, you guys are meant to be together. Okay, look at this. You are meant to be together. Let there be no doubt, both of you guys. It's going to happen. That's beautiful. Thank you, Pisces. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate your likes. I definitely appreciate people subscribing. Thank you very much. Do comment. I don't mind. I hope the volume's a little better. I'm working on it. Let me know about the volume. I forgot to ask. Thank you, guys.